So hey, um, probably not used to seeing me all in my natural state, but I was coming to you guys today. Just what is it called? Random talks and thoughts with Cassie. So, something was proposed to me at my job, and I don't know. Trying to figure out why change kind of puts people in that mind state of something negative or fear and things like that. So it was just some things that I was processing. Like, I've been with my company for 9 years now. This will have to be one of the longest running jobs that I've actually had. And it's had its ups and downs, like any other job. So don't get me wrong. I do love what I'm doing now, which is in the marketing aspect of things. I kind of changed my title to saying outreach director, because that's kind of what I am doing, reaching out to different other medical providers and things like that for referrals, and also letting them know how we can benefit and help them, how we can help the community, things like that. So I do work for a mental health company, and I started out as being a receptionist. So I started out being a medical receptionist there, and then I moved up to doing their office manager position, and I've been doing that. I got hired there in 2011. I got offered the office manager position in 2013, I believe it was. And I've been doing that all the way up until about October of last year. And, and since then I've transitioned over to doing their outreach director or marketing director position. And I've actually been told that I've been actually doing a really good job at it. There's been a lot of things that I was pushing forward to doing with this position and everything. And then we got hit with the COVID-19 virus, so it's kind of grounded me as far as like things that I can do. So I can't really go out and travel anymore. So I kind of felt like, I was going to really lose out on my job. Yeah, he had to get in the video. That I was really going to, lose out on my job or something like that. And then I got to thinking to myself, like, no, you just have to think outside the box and figure out other ways. Though you can't be in front of face to face with, clients or stuff like that. I started thinking to myself, well, I can still do the same thing. I can just either do things by Zoom or phone conferences and things like that, because most of us healthcare wise is still up and running. And with me working in mental health, that's a definite need there. So, I've learned just about any and everything. I've, been through hell and back, ups and downs, but I do see the big vision that my, current owner sees, which he took over about 2 years ago. So I see his vision and I want to push past that. Not to sound that way, but I just kind of want to push us to that point to where we're past what he's seeing or what he can envision, just because there's such a need out there for mental health. And that's just my mindset. Though I have other passions that I like to do, I do plan on doing those as well. Just using this as a fuel for that. And I get to help people in this aspect of health-wise. But yeah, so it was brought to me about, I base my home base is out in Colombia. That's where I've always been. And it's been brought up to me about, going to the main office, which is in Towson, and all the reasons behind that. And I knew it was eventually coming because we've expanded so much. We need, office space and things like that for the different providers that are coming on board, which, is really exciting. and everything. That way we'll be able to help people more, and be able to get them in sooner. And that has been able to happen a lot. We don't have a large waiting list or anything like that. We're able to get patients in, whether you're new or existing, within the same day or at least the same week. So that's a benefit because you don't hear about that often. But, just thinking about leaving that Columbia office to go to the main office in Towson, even though I knew in the back of my mind that eventually was going to be the case, it was kind of scary. And I don't know if scary is the right word. I had some fears. I had some hesitations. I made excuses to myself, like, how am I going to do this? I live in Baltimore. Columbia was just so convenient for me because, I would be leaving from Baltimore to go down to PG County and Laurel to where my son, that's where he still goes to school at. I kept him in the same schools. So he would go down there. I would leave from here, drop him off, at school, and then make my way to, the job in Columbia. Now it's to the point now where I'm like, well, right now, since they're doing the distance learning, it wouldn't be an issue. But when school time next year comes around, it's like, what does that look like? Am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to be able to do that and satisfied with getting to work on time? Because that's one of my biggest pet peeves in a way. Because I don't like really being late, and I don't like pushing the envelope like that. Like, I like to be anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes early for my job, period. Whether I'm able to clock in or not, I still want to be there that early because I want to start getting stuff done before, we do open for business. So that was like one of the things that had crossed my mind, along with some other things. Like, you always tend to go straight to the negatives of things, and then I had to sit back and really realize, like, everything that I've been through with this company has never really been negative, because everything that was, I was able to take that and turn it into a positive and grow and learn even more. And I was able to do that thanks to, the owner that's there, allowing me to have the opportunity to grow the way that I have, to be able to implement some of the things that I have. Even the previous owner, like, I've been one that had tons of ideas about how different processes might be able to work smoother or might not, work. It's just, thoughts that come to my head and ideas that would always come up. But it was just like, kind of like change kind of just put you in this mindset of like, why you gotta change? Why do we gotta go in this direction? Like, why can't I just stay where I'm at? Why? And the answer to all that is if you stay where you're at, that means, you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to be better than what you are. And that's what I had to realize. Making this transition, though, might bring some sort of challenges to, my everyday routine, but where would I be if I didn't go ahead and accept it? You see what I'm saying? Like, I would be stuck in the same, kind of, rut, or not being able to maybe possibly learn something different. You never know what it is that it's going to bring. And that's what I had to sit back and, sorry, my back was itching. I had to sit back and realize is that, I think I said this on my podcast, and I got it from a really good friend who I said that, truly, honestly, he is like the best thing that I've ever met. And not to say it in that type of way, but he's just a really positive person. And like I said, he, to me, is like a mentor, and I couldn't thank him anymore. But one of his things that he, would say is that, I'm gonna probably mess up the quote, but think of something about like out of adversity, comes opportunity, and it couldn't be any more truer. Like, I've never been able to grow as much as I have been with any company ever, other than where I'm at now. And, you know, despite everything, I think moving to the main office, the one thing that I know I'm truly going to miss is not so much the office itself or the convenience of the office. It's really just the relationships that you built with like the providers there, the patients, all that. Like, I'm really attached to that aspect of it because, you know, I've been there for like 9 years. So going to the main office, though might, you know, be a little scary or bring some sort of fear because you don't know what to expect. And I just figured, you know what, hey, you go in there, you sit in your office, you get stuff done like you've been doing, and you know, bringing a little spice or sunshine to that, you know, location. And that's what I, you know, kind of said to myself today. It was like, oh, I guess they just needed somebody with a little bit more spice to come up there. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking at it in a negative aspect anymore, but I would be lying if I didn't say that with changes, a lot of people do experience that anxiety or negativity, or, you know, asking why this, why that. And, you know, some people even run from it when changes are brought about. But for me, I just look at it as a challenge and try to overcome it. And, you know, just go forward from there. It's like, hey, what's the worst that could happen? Because by now I probably could have been out of work, if anything. You know what I mean? So that's the worst part about any job. But like I said, with this company, I've been able to grow and learn and change so much, and it's just been such an eye-opener. Like, you have no idea. Like, when I jumped into doing the marketing piece of things, the only bit of marketing I knew of was from me doing real estate. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I know. And jumping into this, I was like, okay, how can I incorporate what I was doing in real estate with this? And then not realizing the power of networking. You meet some great people out there, and lo and behold, like, my sister, she marketed is what she breathed and did all the time. And, you know, I had some people in my circle already that were doing marketing or knew about it or knows how to do it and things like that. And, you know, I've been in those types of fields to where, you know, it was straight contract type money. So you had to learn how to market yourself to be able to get money. So not realizing how many people I actually had around me to be able to draw from if I had questions or if I had an idea and I just wanted to run it by somebody to see if it made sense. And again, to my owner, he introduced me to some great people too, which, you know, I still talk to. They still kind of try to push me into learning different things. So now I done signed up for doing, you know, some free online marketing little courses and things like that. So I've been able to navigate and do those. I'm picking up, you know, trying to get credentialed in doing Salesforce, which is a CRM program. Getting to learn the lingo that they use in marketing. Like, you know, it's funny how your brain just adapts and tunes in, is able to store a lot of information. So it amazes me. But, you know, overall, I'm looking forward to doing the move. I think it's time. I just feel like I have such a bigger calling and that God is going to lead me through. And that's just where I'm at with everything. Like, I know it's time. It's time. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to move on to doing bigger and better things. It's time for me to get out here and, you know, for the company itself, push and let's propel it to, you know, its capacity, and get out there and do it, and help as many people as we can. So you better watch out for your girl. I keep telling y'all, told y'all I was gonna blow up, and that's exactly what I'm gonna keep preaching, because that is exactly how I feel. I can see it, you know, happening. It's been step by step. Nothing is ever going to be instant. Another great quote from another good friend of mine, you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I'm going to keep going at my pace and just knocking out the competition. It's not even competition, but just knocking out the obstacles to get to where I'm supposed to be. And that's all I can see is the direction of that finish line. So no matter what is thrown in front of me, I'm going to find a way to get to that finish line. And that's just been my mindset for the last few years. Like after I lost my dad, I just been having that mindset that I had to get out here and live life, enjoy it, make a difference, make an impact, you know, be blessed doing it, be grateful doing it. And that's just exactly what I see myself doing. So that's it for my whole random throwing out thoughts and stuff like that. That was just something that was really heavy on my mind, and I would just like to share it with you guys. You know, that's just what I do. So my son here playing on my phone.
So I'm gonna add something like add like this.
And he's always adding games to my phone.
Sorry.
My phone is already old anyways. But I hope you guys have a very blessed, you know, evening. Stay healthy, you know, stay safe. And as always, like I tell you guys, if you follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, so you can find me on Instagram at Miss Cassie J82. And then you can find me on Facebook at CLJC0124. And then, of course, you can find me on the YouTube channel at Random Talks and Thoughts with Cassie. And again, take a listen to my podcast too. I'll make sure to drop all those links and things in my bio, or in the description, down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get updates on when I post. And make sure you
hit the notification bell.
And hit the notification bell. That's what my son said. So make sure you do all that. And you'll get more talks from me. Some of them will be a little bit more on the other side of things, but that's just me. But you guys have a good evening, and I wish you well. Love you guys.